Nirvana Sri Lanka. Welcome back to the show. Now, we've been speaking to Nuwanthi about this newest venture that she has started up, which is party planning, of course, and I have so many props all around me. Now, this particular prop, what is this for? Let me get all of that into the frame. Okay, it's going to be very weird if I poke my head through this, so I won't.
You should.
I should. It's
because
fun,
that's a
isn't it?
photo booth.
Look it. All right.
That's
now
photo
the cameraman is going to have a blast with this, so I'm going to keep it down. But what is this prop for?
That's actually a photo booth that I designed for a mermaid party, which has come handy for a splash party as well.
I see. Yeah. So you are into multitasking as well when it comes to using props. But you mentioned earlier that the end-to-end experience when it comes to picking a theme and sticking to it, you do a unique party for each client as well.
Yes.
So photo booths, I'm sure, are some of the more fun things that you have on offer. Do you do photo booths separately? Do you offer that as a particular service for a party?
Well, I have my standard list of services, and everything that you need to get on board for a party is listed on that, starting from party plates to cups to decor, when you come to decor items, pom-poms to cutouts to helium balloons. So I just give the choice for my client to pick and choose from, and then once they decide on what they want, I get those on board.
That's brilliant. But now I spoke in the beginning of the first segment as well about how elaborate parties have got in this day and age, and you know, kids want to have a great party as well because they've seen some of their friends have great parties, things like that. So for those parents out there who are watching the show and they're hoping to plan a party for their child as well, what are the best tips or best opinions or your views that you can give out to them?
Okay, first thing would be to plan ahead of time, because there's so much of planning you need to do, and we all have busy schedules, and we can get forgetful, so it's good to have your own checklist. You should start with maybe your invitee list, have a rough...
How much time should you keep for that then?
Maybe a month's time. If you can start ahead, that's great, and it will ensure that things flow smooth for you. So
invitee list a month ahead, and then
a month ahead, and then you must think of the venue. If you are planning to have it elsewhere, then the weekends generally they tend to get booked up really fast. So then you need to check out your venue and sort that out first. Then I would say it's the invitation. You need to think of your invitation based on your theme. You at least have to send it maybe 2 weeks to 10 days ahead of time, so that you have...
That's the best time you would suggest, especially for a kids party.
Because you need the confirmations to plan out the rest of the things. So once that's sorted, maybe you can just relax a little and start thinking of what food you want to have on board. Then since you know the number of invites, then invitees, then maybe get the party favors on board. Then think of what sort of decor you want to go for. Then decide whether you want a photographer or whether you want to get a family, someone from the family to cover the event for you. Then close upon the date, when you start getting the confirmation, maybe you can purchase your loot bag items and get your loot bag sorted. But it's best for you to have a few loot bags in excess, because there are always siblings who come along.
I see. All right, especially when they're young children.
Yes,
I'm sure
the parents have no way of leaving one sibling behind, one kid behind, so there'll be siblings coming over as well. So basically, having a checklist and starting ahead of time would really help.
So it's always best to have a plan, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure that you are a very organized person as well when it comes to how many parties do you handle per month?
Well, I only take up about 4 to 5 parties maximum, because it's a lot. I give attention to a lot of details. So it gets quite hectic, and so I just take about 4 to 5 parties maximum a month, because of the details that I go into. A lot of designing.
Look at that, that's beautiful. That's also something that you created yourself, is it? How many people help you to do all of this? Because this seems like so much to take on yourself.
Yeah, I've got one graphic design on board, and then most of the decor is done by myself, but of course paper craft, I do have a very good friend who's very talented, so I get her on board when I I can't do it myself. So Suramya, thank you so much. You've been a great.
So on that note, we have a slideshow of some of the work that you've done in the earlier as well. We'll get to that very soon as well. But I mean, now you've become an entrepreneur, and you've started off on your own. You're doing quite well for the past year as well. But you were an attorney by profession earlier. So what has that change been like? That's a complete 180-degree turn to something else.
Sorry. Yes, that's right. Well, I think I always had the passion to do creative stuff, but I never had the kind of time to do it.
Because being an attorney means you're studying a lot.
Yes.
For most of your life as well. I'm just saying, it's a big change to go into this business, and there's so much creativity involved in this.
That's right. So I recall one statement that one of my friends made, a former colleague from my workplace. When I phoned her and was talking to her, she said, never have any doubt as to the passion you have or the creativity you have, because each album that you release really shows how passionate you are to what you do and how creative you are. And she said, you are lucky that you've had the opportunity to make that choice that you have done today. And the most touching thing that went into my head was when she said that someday she'll be telling her son to follow his heart and not to conform to what the society thinks as right for you.
Wow.
So I think she was really right. Thank you, Dedu, for that.
Definitely, and that's a beautiful message that you're sending out to everyone who's watching as well, that you can really take your passion wherever you happen to be in life at that time and really make it your own, and then make sure that you can take it on for the rest of your career as well, and make your profession fun. So when you wake up in the morning and you go to work, you know that you're going to have fun as well. But what's your favorite aspect of it? Is it writing the invitations or the food, the decor? Okay.
I go overboard with my decor, and every event.
And there's evidence of that all around our studio,
yes,
of course.
And every event, I think I have presented it in a totally different approach, with a totally different look, with totally different decor. So one can be pom-poms, one can be rosettes. So the next party that I'm planning to do this week, I came up with paper rosettes.
Oh, I see. Okay. You can maybe hold that one up.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
This is for a little elephant lover who's turning 1.
Oh,
so this is the matching hat and the colored pom-poms to go with the theme.
So everything you planned out, I mean, and these are very neat and beautiful, and when it comes to the colors, they're definitely eye-catching.
Yes.
So the decor is, I think, your favorite as well, and I'm sure that if someone visits the Party Brats Facebook page,
you should visit my albums. Yes, every album has been presented in a totally different way, with totally different. If you take a look at this, this was done for a little safari party.
Okay.
This was the signpost at the entrance, giving them directions, and I had paw prints of a tiger giving the directions to where the cake was. And I've taken, I've presented animals in different types of material to give the sensory experience. So this is corrugate board, this is paper, tissue paper, sorry, crepe paper, that is made out of felt, that little bird.
Oh, okay.
And the giraffe made out of felt.
Very nice. Okay, so but these are again crafts that parents can try out with their children as well.
Exactly.
Right? When it comes to the sensory aspect of it.
Yes, and also I just need to tell to the parents, you don't have to necessarily spend in an extravagant way to make it colorful and creative. For example, this party.
I'll give you that. All right.
Yeah, I'm fine. Looking at this, can you tell me what this theme was?
Well, I'm sure that's a doll theme, maybe, or
it's a Barbie theme.
Barbie theme.
We deviated from the normal blonde, long-legged Barbie to add a little bit of class and elegance with Barbie silhouette.
Definitely.
And doing this decor was so easy and simple. Just paper doilies. It was so economical. We had just one cutout.
You can just buy these at supermarkets, right?
Exactly. And just one printout in the middle. And I came up with these little flowery pots to add that little girliness
And this
to
is
the
just
party.
tissue paper.
Made out of tissue paper.
Plastic cup and then little bauble.
A little bauble inside
Okay.
to add color.
Wow, so that's beautiful. There you go. And it's economical, and these are just invest a bit of time maybe, and just think of
time.
something,
You need
do a
if
bit
you
of
have
research.
if you
Yes.
have time, then
And if you don't have time, you can get that nothing. All right, but another question I have is food. What you serve at a party, and also the time that you serve it. Now, let's say it's a small child from about 1 to 6 or 7 years of age. What's the time that you would recommend for the party, and how long should the party be? And then what can you serve at a party like that?
yeah. Well, I would recommend the party starts around 4:30 and ends up around 6:37.
Oh, so just 2.5 hours maybe.
Yes, because small kids can get a little grumpy, so it's best if they have had their nap before they come for the party, before the party starts rather.
You wish that you could specify that in the invitation, don't you? Please put them down for a nap before you bring them for the party.
Especially the birthday girl or boy,
Oh, I see.
so that
Okay,
they are
yes.
chirpy and happy and not
Definitely.
grumpy. Yes.
And when it comes to food to be served at a party for maybe 1-year-old,
Yeah, generally
Discount.
if the party starts at 4, maybe you can serve, and if it finishes around 7, then 5:30 maybe you can do the cutting of the cake and then start with the food. So generally you cut the cake and then the food is served.
food is okay. So it's a very short party there, but then when it comes to teenagers, you have to take a completely different turn as well. Now, I saw some pictures in your scrapbook of an Oscar party and
Yes.
things like that, complete with an award for the best dressed, that's
Yeah.
shaped like the Oscars. So those were beautiful touches that you had there. But when it comes to a party like that, what's the time you would recommend, and also the type of food that you can serve at a party like that?
Well, you can go for like a finger food cocktail sort of a menu for more adult children, like that. And then, of course, the party can start around 6:30, depending on the deadlines the parents have for their own
Yes,
kids.
yes.
So sometimes it can go till around 10:30. So I generally parents want me to specify a pickup time when it comes to teenage parties, so that they can ensure that it doesn't clash with these parents' requests on
And there are also
deadlines.
laws against sound and things like that when it goes to a late parties and that.
Yes,
So
yes.
you take those into account as well when it's teenagers, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you put all of these together and you've built up this business yourself, you're quite the entrepreneur yourself. But what's the future, Naik, and what are your future plans for your business as well?
Yeah. Well, why we went with kids party planning is so that I could use all my creativity and color and give that kind of vibrance that kids love for their parties. But now that we've had our basics in place and we all our main focus has been creativity, so I think the combination has been working well. So now we are kind of thinking of expanding to corporate events, to dinner dancers, stuff like that as well. So we hope
more
that
adult target audience than you have there. But
we are
again,
thinking of expanding. So hopefully opportunity would come our way and we will be able to take that.
I hope so too. All the best. Before we go, I just want to ask you, what are the newest trends that you see coming up for parties, and some trends and tips that you can share with them as well about the type of decor you can use or the food trends?
Well, food wise, it's mostly finger foods that people go for.
I see, okay. And I've seen parties with cupcake towers and things like
Yes.
that are becoming very popular.
Yes, yes.
Instead of the cake, they go for the
Cupcakes, and then you can always give the cupcake as a takeaway
Yes,
for teen parties, because sometimes it's difficult to come up with something that what teens
Seems
like
adult
nowadays.
but portable.
Yes, can be quite expensive, and
Yes.
it's difficult to match their liking. So a cupcake will always be.
Food is always welcome, I think. Okay, all right. So when it comes to favors, you can give a cupcake away. There you go.
Yeah.
A very helpful tip there. And some other trends, maybe decor. What do you see?
Decor, I think a lot of pom-poms are in vogue now.
Yes.
A lot of pom-poms and paper craft is coming into play.